Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Sugar TV. I'm your host, Sugar, and I know a lot of you out there are getting ready for Thanksgiving and you're getting ready to make your stuffing and your turkey, and you've asked me, Sugar, how do you make your stuffing? So today I'm going to share my recipe with you, and it's really simple and you can customize it to kind of make it your own with any little add-ins that you want to add into the recipe. But I want to show you how simple it is. You can make it in a casserole dish, you could stuff it into that bird, but it's super simple. So let's get started. The ingredients that we're going to need to make this stuffing are a 14-ounce bag of cornbread stuffing, some apple cider or apple juice, some chicken stock, naturally some salt and pepper, some Italian sausage, chopped carrots, chopped onions, chopped celery, some poultry seasoning, some fresh chopped parsley, and a stick of butter. Before we get started, we're going to remove the sausage out of the casing. And in order to do that, you're just going to squeeze it to get the meat out. So we're going to start at one end and then just do the other end. Can you see that? It just slips right out of there. I know it looks gross, but we just want to get rid of that casing. Now the reason you want to take the sausage out of the casing is because it cooks up so much nicer when the meat crumbles and gets brown. We're going to start by melting our butter in a large frying pan. Once the butter's melted, we're going to add our vegetables. So we're going to add our onions, carrots, and celery. We're going to do a good dose of salt and pepper. We're going to want to saute these vegetables just till they're tender but not brown. Probably about 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, so that's been cooking a few minutes, and you can see how the vegetables are nice and tender, but they're not brown. And now we're going to add our sausage. And the sausage is just going to get put in there. And then as we cook it, we're going to start to crumble it with the spoon as it cooks down. And this will take about 5 to 7 minutes. You may want to turn your heat up a little bit. If you have any trouble breaking up your sausage with your spoon, you can always grab your kitchen shears. This is another great little trick, and you can just chop it up a little bit. But this is the reason why we removed it from the casing, so that you won't get large pieces of sausage in your stuffing. I wish you could smell this because it just smells so amazing right now. Now it's ready for the chicken stock. So we're going to add our chicken stock. Give that a stir. Then we're going to add our apple cider, and that gives it a little sweetness. Our parsley and the poultry seasoning. I'm going to mix that up real well. After you add your chicken stock and the apple juice or the apple cider, you want to let it simmer for a minute or two, just to incorporate all the ingredients. Then we're going to be ready to add the stuffing. And we can shut the heat, and we're going to just add that bread stuffing right in there, and then we're going to fold it all in, making sure that it all gets coated well. Now you see how the bread soaks up all that juice? And this would be the perfect time now if you wanted to add something extra, like some dried cranberries or a chopped green apple, maybe some chestnuts. Don't be afraid to experiment and make the recipe your own. So now this stuffing is ready to either go into a casserole dish or into your turkey. So now I have a buttered casserole dish. This is a 9 by 13, but you can use an oval one or whatever will fit this amount of stuffing. Now the recipe calls for a stick of butter, but at the end I just like to put maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons of dotted butter just on the top. And this is going to get covered and placed in a 350-degree oven. I like to cover this before I bake it, and then the last 15 minutes that it bakes, I take the foil off so that it crisps. So my stuffing is out of the oven. It was baking at 350 for about 30 minutes covered, and then the last 15 minutes I uncovered it so it gets brown and crispy on the top. So now let's give it a taste. And I'm just going to take a little bit here. But it's moist, and you can see the sausage in there and the vegetables. It's still a little hot. The butter and the poultry seasoning, it's so good. And the apple cider, either you use the cider or the juice, gives it that hint of sweet. So you have the savory and the sweet. It's so good. And you see how simple it is to make. So for more recipes like this, be sure to log on to my website at cookingwithsugar.com. So if you're watching me on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I'd love to read your comments. And for all my friends out there, please have a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving. Love you. God bless. See you next time.